All right. You're listening to the Deadman's Tome podcast, a show that's broadcast live from a Meth County, Texas. Meth County, Texas. Look at that. I'm Mr. Deadman. And I should remind everybody, this show has kind of essentially been banned on YouTube. Not banned from it, just completely demonetized. Can't even make a super chat because too sexually gratifying. And you know what? I no longer fight YouTube. I'm just like, just go on in it and embrace it. So here we go. Let's go ahead and throw this on there. Oh, wrong one there. There we go. Let's get some nice boob action right there. Oh, we have a guest tonight. Dr. Jason Carson. He thought Jordan Peterson was something. Come on. If you really need self-help, you need to listen to the doctor. All right, doctor, are you there?
Yes, I am, Mr. Deadman. How are you tonight?
I'm doing fine. I'm doing absolutely great. All right. Now, who are you and what do you do?
Well, I am a doctor of clinical psychology, and the whole point of my work is to help people cut out all the unnecessary things about themselves so that they can embrace and enjoy life in a new, profound way that they never had before.
Hey, Doc.
Yes, sir.
I need to tell you something, okay? Guys, I put up an act that everything's fine, that everything's great over here, but the truth is, Doc, my life is in shambles.
Oh, that's terrible. Tell me more.
Yeah, like, my wife left me. My kids left me. They hate me. I found out that my side hoe, I found out that he had AIDS. And,
Oh my.
Yeah, the only thing really keeping me together here during this time is beer, frozen pizza, shitty movies. Can you unfuck my life?
Oh, Mr. Deadman, not only can I unfuck your life, but I can refuck your life into something new and fabulous. Do you want that?
Oh, absolutely. I would love that. And I should let you know how bad this is. I mean, the reason why my kids hate me is because one day they just came into the garage. There I was in the garage, completely passed out, naked, from playing another game of Will I Wake Up Tomorrow? You know, where I drink myself, all that with Maker's Mark and Shiner. But
Oh my.
Mm-hmm. Oh, by the way, quick announcement. Things in the Well. Things in the Well publication, they do have a new book out, book 1 and 2. After I talked about being almost a borderline suicidal, let me go ahead and plug a book. My life problems here. Book 1 and 2. Available on Amazon. You get a paperback and ebook form. Look, these books go along with the whole coronavirus, COVID-19 thing. If you're stuck inside the home, need something to read, these are great. Loaded with over 20 books each one. And some stories are fast, flash fiction. Some are very long and narrative, but I mean long in a good way, like keep you engaged. I read just about all the stories, and I didn't like all of them. I liked most of them. Some are a little too light for my taste. I like my stories brutal, but it has a good collection of that as well. I'm not even paid to say this. I saw this, and I was like, you know what? I'm impressed with that. I like what they're doing. I want to go ahead and plug them just because I like it. So I'm not even paid to say this. Look at that. Someone being genuine on the internet. Anyway, doctor, how can you unfuck my life?
Well, one thing that you have to think about, it seems that a lot of your problems stem from excessive drinking. Am I correct?
Well, define excessive drinking.
Well, as you were saying, worrying about waking up the next morning, your children finding you in a heap in the garage, your wife leaving you. It sounds to me, sir, like you have a drinking problem.
What I have right now, my problem is I don't have enough in my glass. So let me go ahead and fix that real fast with Maker's Mark over here. I don't know. I don't see it. I don't see the connection here. It keeps the edge off, you know. Because when I don't drink, I'm like shaking uncontrollably. I'm just like I can't deal with it. I'm seeing things too.
Oh, Mr. Deadman. Well, let's think of this another way. Maybe your problem is not so much the drinking, but the problem was the other people in your life. These unnecessary umbilicals that keep you away from happiness.
There's one other piece I forgot to tell you. Not only did my kids find me in the garage, half naked, passed out with beer bottles, and I was kind of puking too. There may or might have been a hooker there as well. Could that have been a problem?
When they found you and this mysterious lady of the night,
it was a dude. It was a dude. I wanted a dude, and I want to make sure he had a viral load.
Oh, okay. We can work with that. Was this gentleman still breathing when your children came upon you in the garage?
Wait, you want me to check him? Oh, that's gay, dude. I'm not gonna check a guy. No, I'll do things with him. I'm not gonna check him to see if he's still alive. A man is responsible for his own life. Come on now.
Well, it sounds to me. Oh, what is the actual problem here? Because it seems to me that you are living
right. What is the problem?
that most people, no responsibilities, male prostitutes at your leisure. Well, now you say that your life is ruined, but I see a great, wonderful life. What is your actual problem with the current lifestyle that you are living?
Well, you put it that way. I don't know. I'm lonely. Maybe is that it? I mean, I feel like I'm not living to my potential. How do I live to my potential? I think you have a self-help book, right? Separating you. A self-help book for the lost, lonely, and psychotically obsessed.
Yes, sir.
How can this book fix me?
Sometimes fixing yourself requires letting go of certain pieces of yourself.
So I need to cut off my penis.
Maybe. It's a possibility.
All right. Well, I mean,
are you utilizing that body part to its full potential?
I think it's utilizing me. I think it's taking control of me sometimes, you know? Damn.
Well, there could be a possibility that maybe that appendage might be better off being separated from you.
Interesting. I didn't think about it that way. So would that be okay? Like, I mean, that might kill me though. Isn't there a major artery there? I can't just cut it off. I mean,
sir, to be able to fully reach the apex of happiness, you have to question reality as a whole, including life and death scenarios. But I mean, what is life? What is death? Are you truly living right now? Or would you live more in death?
Good question. Am I truly living? I don't even know. Doc, if I feel pain, does that mean I'm alive? Or am I still in a dream?
It's whatever you want to make of this world. You are God.
Oh, hey.
You control everything.
Apparently I don't control my life. I control everything. I don't control my kids.
You could if you wanted to.
Shit. My little ankle biters they go crazy. I have no control over here. They're right in the fridge, drinking my beer. It's just crazy house over here.
When you apply enough force, you can have control over anything.
Force? Are you saying what I think you mean? You mean I need to like spank them? Spank my
Well,
kids? Slap them
well,
around?
if the situation would warrant that, how was it said in The Shining?
In The Shining.
How did he say that? You may need to correct them,
Mm.
correct them in a most severe fashion. Maybe not now, but one day it may get to that point where it's your children facing off with you in a hallway, and all you have is a broken beer bottle in your hand, and they're coming for you. They're coming
Yeah.
at you. They're coming to take you down.
They're going to
And
take
you
my
may
beer
have-
away. They sound kind of like you, Doc. They want my wife, my kids. They want to take my beer away. They want to take my drinking away. You know?
Oh, Mr.
That's what I'm worried
Deadman,
about.
Mr. Deadman, do not get me wrong. I do not have a problem with anybody excessively drinking. I believed at the beginning of this
Time
that
out. That's a trigger word. Not to be like a snowflake here, but excessive. That triggers me, Doc. When I hear excessive, I don't know. So what if I drink a bottle of Maker's Mark, just like, in a day? So what? I want to be like Ethan Ralph from the Kill Stream. I'm just drinking bottles. I got some pills over here. I'm gonna crack open this beer.
Drink away. Swallow that whole bottle of pills. That's not what I'm telling you. Well, at the beginning of this, we were going under the idea that your life, you needed help, and your life was in shambles.
Yeah.
And you continuously reference the consumption of alcohol. But what I think the truth of the matter is, you're not drinking enough. If you are in the mindset that you can regret things, you have not drank enough, sir.
I'm liking this. Okay. See, now I'm willing to open up and ask you, what other ways can I unfuck my life? I'm going to go ahead and drink this glass right here, but based on what I said, what else could you do for me?
Oh, again, we get into the utilization of body parts, for instance. When you go number 2, or number 1, rather, do you shake at the end?
No. I just let it all drip out. And then I pull my pants and I have any leftover piss. I don't care. My jeans soak it up.
My good friend, we are in the middle of a pandemic right now.
I don't even wash my hands either.
Severe variety. And that is not a problem, because maybe you spreading that virus to others, it could help them. It could open up their perspective.
Build their
the
antibodies, right? It can build their antibodies. Maybe.
Absolutely. But if you are not shaking, that means, what are you using your hand for? What are you doing with your hands when you're going number 1?
Well, I go over the waistline. So I go over. So I'm using my hands. One's holding down. The other one's kind of like actually support my head as I kind of feel the headache from the drinking. So I'm just like, God, kill me now. That sort of thing. I'm constantly in that phase.
Well, in that way, I would again say drink more, so that way you are not having those headaches.
You're right.
And
then I could use my hands. Then I could shake.
Exactly. As of right now, you do not deserve your hands. I would tell you that. If you were in my office right now on my couch and you told me that, I would go to my drawer, pull out a hacksaw, give it to you, and tell you to find a way to cut both your hands off. You're going to have to use your feet to cut the other hand off. And I would sit there and videotape you and watch you until you accomplish that goal. And that's the kind of help that I can provide to you.
Well, Doc, I don't want to lose my hands. I need them to jack off. Well,
you better start utilizing them better.
Okay. So I will shake my dick when I pee. Or after
That's all I ask. That's all I ask.
All right. I like this. Now, what about other people? See, there's other people that are really messed up. Maybe not as much as I am, but there's all these incels and lonely virgins that just feel trapped inside. How can you reach out to them? I mean, Jordan Peterson's reaching out to them. And he's just saying, make your bed and wash your penis. What could you say to them?
Well, when somebody is trapped inside, that means that they need to have that inside ripped open, have a hand reach down, the hand of God, and pull them out. Pull it out, rip it open, and pull it all out by any means necessary. So for all of those people who are shut in and crying and scared and not knowing what to do, go outside. Go outside right now. Lick doorknobs. Kiss your neighbor. Do everything you possibly can to show the world I am not scared of dying and I am not scared of killing other people due to my own selfishness. Selfishness is a virtue.
So the chick that wanted to start the coronavirus challenge, licking toilet seats, did she read your book?
I don't know, but I would like to think so. That is a beautiful idea.
I think she did. I think before she did, she said, Dr. Carson told me to do this, and she licked the toilet seat.
Good.
No, honestly, Doc, I don't know if that chick could read, though. I mean, she was pretty hot, but I don't think she could read.
Well, one way or another, I could get my message across to her. I would just need her address.
You pay her a personal visit, huh?
Absolutely.
So, I like that. You know what? Be fearless. Just embrace death, right? Or not embrace it, but kick its ass. Is that right?
Absolutely. And
yeah.
At the end of the day, you are looking out for number one, correct? That is right. The mantra.
Me.
Yes, that's been going around a long time. Everything is okay as long as it makes you happy. But the problem is...
Doc, I don't keep on interrupting you, but it's me. It's all about me. And I heard this message from a soy boy cuck that if we're all number one, then who's really number one? Can I really be number one if everyone's thinking that they're number one?
Well, think of it like this. How do other people become number one? How did Jesse Owens win the gold medal?
Number one.
He was the best. He beat the other people. So, in this situation of life, to be the best, that means you have to utterly destroy the competition by any means necessary so that you come out on top and the onlookers will worship you and they will follow you and they will love you and they will give their lives for you. And you can take their lives at your own will at any time and nobody can question it because you are number one.
Oh, wow. I can take their lives? Any means necessary.
They're yours. They're yours. You can do whatever you want with them.
Wait, what do you mean by anything and whatever I want? I mean, there's things I want to do to people that I can't do because of the laws, but I mean...
Anything. Mr. Deadman, to hell with the laws. What is a law? What law did you agree to when you were brought into this world? What law did they ask you, hey, Mr. Deadman, do you agree with this? Are you willing to live in society under this law? Who asked you?
You know, now that I think about it, no one. No one asked me if I agreed with the laws. They just said, obey the law.
Exactly. So whose laws will you live under? Oppressive government? Societal? Or Deadman's law?
Oh, man. So what would you say to those that aren't living under their own law? Like, if I'm not living under Deadman law, but I'm living under the law of the United States or of my parents because I still live in their basement, what would you say to them? Are they being cucks? Or
no,
simps?
at at that point, they are living under Dr. Jason Carson's law because I am number one. So therefore, they are my subjects to command. As long as you want to fit in with the culture and you
Doctor,
want to abide by those rules, they are mine
Doc,
worldwide, no question.
I failed to do one thing here, one major thing. Like,
What's that?
in order for people to believe what you're saying, to buy what you're saying, what are your credentials? Like, what is your background, Doc?
I told you I have a doctorate in clinical psychology. I am an amateur surgeon. I own my own clinic in Columbus.
But isn't that education from other people that think they're number one? Aren't you going by what they say, what they teach? I mean, what separates you from them?
Because I can separate them and not think twice about it.
Wait. You killed someone?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, shit. Oh, my attorney is advising me to not continue that conversation for not looking out after me, other than I don't want to be roped into some bullshit lawsuit later on down the road.
Don't worry, I'll kill your attorney. I'll kill the prosecutor. I don't care.
Oh, wait, like with a gun?
No.
Like,
no.
You're gonna stare at them, play like mind games?
Oh no! What I'll probably do
fiercely?
is I will get their addresses and I will track them down one by one over a period of months, so that way it does not look connected. I will invade their homes and I will stab them, and then I will probably tie them up. And there's a lot of in between details, but I'll probably kill them with my pocket knife.
Dr. Carson, isn't murder wrong? I mean, I know you don't live under most laws or any law except for your own, but isn't murder wrong?
Explain to me the definition of wrong.
Wrong is wrong is when you physically hurt someone? When you physically violate and kill someone, take someone's life.
Says you. What objective standard do you have that says that is wrong?
No. All I really have, your doc, is that it's my law. How come you're not living under my law?
Well, quite frankly, Mr. Deadman, your law is made for pussies.
Shit. I mean, one could say that, we all, or not we all, but a lot of us have agreed that certain things are just, well, we wouldn't want to just allow, like, murder. I mean, it would be a problem if murderers were just allowed to just murder anybody, because no one could really sleep soundly at night. So maybe you need someone to go in there and police, be like, did you murder? Okay, we're going to lock you up. Prevent you from murdering other people. What about that?
Well, let me ask you this. This is an example I use in my book, Separating You. There are certain subcultures in the Middle East that believe to save a woman's purity, you would take on a young boy to relieve your sexual frustrations. Now, here,
like
that would be considered...
They're pedophiles?
For lack of a better word, yes. Now here,
kill them.
The majority of people here believe that's wrong. So therefore, we do not do that here, and it is illegal. But in a different area around the world, a whole different group of people decided that is okay.
A bunch of goat fuckers. I mean,
that may be true, but let me ask you this. How can you define which one is right and which one is wrong? Because at this point, you are talking about the majority of people agreeing that murder is wrong.
Right.
But how is that an objective standard?
Well, those guys are fucked up. I say nuke them. How can I say what is the objective standard? Well, I'll tell you what it is. It's our standard. We're number one. We're number one.
Now, who is number one, Mr. Deadman?
I guess in this context, what, the U.S.? I don't know. Western society?
Well, it depends on how you define number one. For instance, we were really number one, quote unquote, back during the Vietnam War. But look at our lack of cultural training compared to what the Vietnamese were doing, and look at how they, with all of our might and all of our muscle and all of our money, they easily overcame us with guerrilla warfare. So, who was number one in that scenario?
You're right. You're right there. We were little pussies. We should have used babies too. We should have used babies, put dynamite on their back or whatever, dynamite, C4, and let them go out.
Exactly. The whole point of that war was killing Vietnamese people. It had nothing to do with political causes or anything like that. We had the opportunity to go over there and murder Asian people.
Yeah. We just needed someone to shoot, someone to kill. It's a pastime. It's a pastime activity, you know?
Absolutely.
And the problem with America is we couldn't stick with it. We couldn't stay with it and just shoot. A bunch of hippies were like, for the love, man, we shouldn't take life anymore, man. It's like, fuck that noise. We should have sent more people. You know, kill them all.
Well, exactly. And again, going back to this hippie standard, as you put it, what is objective love? What does love mean? Is love real?
Now, most people will probably agree love is not real. I would, at least people who actually went through the whole love. I mean, here I am talking about it. My wife left me and the kids hate me. Shit. So what if I had sex with another man in the garage? So what if he had super AIDS?
Exactly.
So what if it happened on our wedding anniversary?
I would call them an ungrateful bunch of ingrates.
Right.
And I am glad that they are out of your life.
I am too.
Good
Dr.
for
Carson.
You.
Give me. I like you, man. I don't know why you're not in mainstream. Jordan Peterson has nothing. Like, you're talking truth. He's all talking about making your bed, washing your penis. He goes on the Joe Rogan podcast. But he's all like, I'm fighting the fight about pronouns. What's your opinion about pronouns? Do you even give a fuck about that?
We all carry the same skeletons underneath our skin. So in my mind, the people that I love...
Women have weaker skeletons.
Regardless, it's all bone. And as of now, all the people that I love, they're all bones anyway. I don't go by pronouns. I just call them my babies. That's what they are. Man, woman. And on top of that, there have been times where I have actually surgically put together post-mortem man and woman. So what do you call that? A man with a woman's head.
I call that a puzzle. I call that a artistic endeavor. That's art. You're playing a puzzle out of a human body and trying to create whatever. Now, I mean, did you make it come alive? Are you like Dr. Frankenstein over there too?
Again, you have to look at the definition between life and death. I believe that in that state, they were more alive than they ever were when the blood was pumping through their veins.
Well, Doc, one thing I'll tell you here. I mean, I know we probably can't find objective in what one culture does versus the other, but I mean, being alive, being dead, I mean, there's a clear criteria there. You're alive, you're moving around and eating something, taking energy from something to live. If you're dead, you're not doing that.
Now, what about giving energy? Do you have to be alive to give energy?
If you're talking about like decaying matter, I mean, it's just is providing a source.
Who says it's decaying?
It's decomposing. I mean, I don't. Good question. It's decomposing. It smells like rot. It smells like death. It's disgusting. The maggots and the flies, they feast on that shit. They thrive on that. A dead body is just another source of nutrients for the flies and the bugs.
Now, see, this is something else I went into in separating you. There is a section called No's, and it talks about the very same exact thing that you are speaking of right now. And the whole point of what I was saying in that is, who are you to say that you're better than a maggot, that you're better than a fly? They will go to the things that you will not. So who is stronger? Who has a stronger stomach? Who has a stronger palate? Certainly not you, if you can't handle the smell and the taste of decomposition.
Well, I'll tell you, just go by what you said so far. I haven't read your book or anything, but you could educate me here, Dr. Carson. But going by your own philosophy, if it's under my law, it's under my belief, then if I think I'm superior, then aren't I just superior?
Well, sir, this is where it becomes complicated. Because
I like complication.
Until the moment that you come into my sights, you can walk along and believe anything you want. Anything. But when you come into my sights, which you have through this podcast, you are no longer number one. I am. Therefore, you are subject to my law. And that's just the way it is. I hate to say it that way. I don't want to create any contention between us, but that is the truth. And I am telling you, under my law, you are weak. You are weaker than a maggot for not being able to embrace things like that. Dead bodies. And
to embrace dead bodies? Wait.
Absolutely.
Now, by the way, I'm looking at the chat. Laura Davis, why was that message retracted? Oh, anyway. YouTube's being cucks. So what, not embracing a dead body makes me a maggot? Oh, wait. Hold on here. What are some things that are objective, Dr. Carson? What are some things that are objectively wrong?
That's the thing. Everything is subjective. Everything. The only limits that matter are the ones that I put forward. So therefore, nothing is objective except for me. I am the only objective thing in this world.
Okay. So, like, fucking kids, like baby fucking, is that okay in Dr. Carson's world?
Not for me personally. That seems very, pardon the pun, juvenile to me. But I don't know. It's whatever limits that you set until you come into my sights. Then you're under my law. But until you come into my sights, whatever you decide is fine. And that doesn't come from me, by the way. That comes from the society for the past decade that we've grown up in. They like saying, oh, we want you to be happy, but you can't do this, this, and this. Mm-hmm. But if this, and this are the only things that do make you happy, society has condemned you to be miserable until death. Does that sound right?
So what would your advice be for those that are struggling with, I guess, pedophilic urges? Not for me. I'm not speaking for me. Not at all. But
I would tell them to read my book and to make a decision on reevaluating their lives after that. Because I can promise when they read my book, sex with anything is going to be they're not even going to be thinking about that by the time they finish my book.
All right, what should they be thinking about?
Me. and what I tell them and my law.
What do you tell them, Dr. Carson? I mean, like, you want them to take things by force? Like, you want them to go out and start punching people?
Whatever it takes to make my image, my vision come to life. That's what it takes. And again, it's subjective. One person is completely different from another. So what they do to satisfy me will be completely different from the next.
I mean, you say it's subjective, but if you're God, then I guess you have the objective morality, right? If you're number one.
Or objective immorality, if you want to put it that way.
Well, wait. Then why? What makes you think you're number one, Dr. Carson?
Because I am.
Because you're number one. That's it.
If we were alone in a room right now and it was life or death between me or you, I would have the upper hand. You would not have a chance at besting me.
I'll kill you, dude. You come after me, Dr. Carson. Dr. Carson, we started off okay. I don't know, man. If we're alone together, you come after me with some aggression.
But see, what you are saying right now, this is part of my philosophy about life. You should be looking at me and saying, I will kill you. You will not kill me. That's the thing. Right in the book. The conversation that we just had is in the book, Separating You, where I look at you and I say, I will kill you. You should have that same confidence to look back at me and say, I will kill you. No, I am the strongest.
Gotcha.
Again, you did the right thing right now by saying that, and I am proud of you. You're wrong.
Thank you. I'm wrong. I'm proud of you. No, I'm right, motherfucker. I would kill you. I don't even have to have a gun on me. I mean, if you're at my house, I have access to my weapons. You're just bringing a weapon with you? You use your bare hands?
Well, sir, you have to redefine that by saying my house, because it's my world. It's Dr. J's house, not yours. I'm just loaning it to you for the time being.
So what happens when you die? Where you die?
I won't. No. How silly.
Like, I mean, do you age? How old are you, Dr. Carson?
Again, age is subjective. Age is just a number.
Okay, he has wrinkles on his face. I'm sure. He's a man. He's not a baby anymore. Okay. Dr. Carson. Okay, what about those that, like, they seem to have, like, this take life aggressively, I'm gonna kill you idea. But what about people who get, like, fed up and just, like, maybe they become homicidal and they shoot up the workplace or they shoot up a school? Like, are they embracing your philosophy?
Absolutely not. No. How?
Why not?
When you do something like that, what gratification can you get out of doing that? Can you feel the body quiver as the life leaves, the soul departs from the body? No. All you're doing, it's the same thing as if I find an anthill and stomp my foot down on it. That's just cruelty with no payoff.
So they need a stab. So if they were stabbing people and feeling the blood and feeling the pain, that'd be different.
Yes, and on top of that, mass shootings are incredibly impersonal. If you take out 200 faces that you can't even see because you're up in some hotel balcony somewhere, well, to me that's cowardly, and it is a misuse of murder to act out in that way, an extreme misuse, and I'm totally against it. Kill people up close and personal. Kill people that you can look in the eyes
I'm surprised,
And
Dr.
so,
Carson. I mean, some people think it's okay. Obviously, the people doing it and the community that I guess supports it, which would be really small. But they think it's okay, and they think they're empowered when they do it in the moment, I guess. I mean, I've seen the Columbine videos. Those kids seem like they didn't give a fuck in the moment.
but see, how powerful are they actually? You think about it. To do, for instance, a home invasion, you have to plan that out to a T. You have to listen to every door that you open to make sure it doesn't creak too loudly. You have to inch by inch go up the stairs and try not to make the wood crack. It and then on top of that, when you finally
If
get to the
if not to interrupt you, doctor, but if you're breaking into a home that doesn't have dogs, I mean, if they have dogs, I mean, those dogs are gonna go off immediately.
well, see, there's the thing. That's why there is bravery in committing a home invasion and then murdering the residents, because you are leaving open the possibility that they might be alerted and they might best you. So, in that way, it's a challenge, it's a game, a cat and mouse game between you and the mouse, the target, the owner, the resident of the house. Whereas, how hard is it to sneak to go into a hotel casually, or wherever else these things happen from, or in a school without a metal detector, and then nobody's aware, there's no reason that they can be made aware, and then you just catch everybody off guard without there's no challenge there. Who can fight back against you? I take pride in my kills the same way a deer hunter takes pride in his kills. It's a game. There is no game if the woods you are hunting in, you just drop a bomb in the woods and kill the deer. What is the point of killing the deer? Getting your targeting right, getting aiming, and,
Right.
and it's a challenge. There's no challenge in mass shootings.
Well, I will have to agree with you there. There's no challenge in that. I mean, what am I gonna say? Oh, there's a challenge. The challenge would be when the resource officer, maybe if they find their balls and face you head on. But what was that? The one in Florida where the resource officer was like, no, the officer was in this car and didn't have the balls to actually face the guy. God, pussies.
Abs- I mean, I will not lie. I have used the gun in some of my pursuits, but again, there is a huge difference between one-on-one, the thrill of what you're doing, as opposed to catching everybody off guard without any chance of them
Okay.
being
So
or fighting back.
if I understand your philosophy so far, it's when you engage with someone, when you interact with someone, have the mindset, even if you're being casual, being nice and friendly, being neighborly, in the back of your mind being, I could kill you.
And absolutely. And not that I can kill you because you're weaker than me, but I can kill you because I'm just better.
But you get that, right, by looking at their weaknesses. Or you just assume you're better.
Weakness or not, it could be Mr. Olympia that I'm going against, and I will best him because I know what to do.
Okay, so what about someone like Joe fucking Rogan? What about him? You're gonna best him? He's not gonna put you in some sort of
Absolutely.
jujitsu hold?
Well, I'll just wait until he's what is that called? The reanimation chamber, when he's on DMT or whatever. He'll never see it coming.
But isn't that cowardly too? To hit someone when they're weak, when they're low?
Isn't it cowardly to take drugs and then lock yourself in a hot tub?
That's just fun. That's not cowardly, that's fun.
I don't know. I would not have a problem against Joe Rogan. I can tell you that much.
I don't know, Dr. Carson. I think I'm finding a weakness here in this philosophy. So you think you could best anyone? in everyone.
Well, again,
man.
sir, it's not weaknesses necessarily, but it's embracing your own strengths. It's not about their weakness, it's about your strengths.
Okay. And what are you like? Are there certain strengths you can kind of hint at here? Like, are there certain things people can learn when they read your book? Like, what are these strengths?
Any psychological. See, I started out being obsessed with everything physical. That's how I became an amateur surgeon around the age of 8. But as I grew older, I realized that's easy. You can cut apart anything. But getting into somebody's mind, getting to that point where you can make them vulnerable, where you can make them hate you while you're cutting them open. That's a completely different venture altogether, and that's where I am the strongest. That is why I am God, because of my mind.
Age of 8. You're doing surgery at age of 8 on what? Like roadkill? Like were you killing animals? Were you killing cats and kittens?
Oh no, I don't want to spoil too much, but in the book Separating You, I do go into a time in my life around that age where at my grandfather's camp I found a raccoon that had been wounded, and I learned to appreciate. That's where I learned to appreciate smells, wretched, terrible smells. Where I embraced rodents. Where I realized everybody beneath me was a rodent and my pet. There's so much detail.
I imagine so. Dr. Carson, this is a wild philosophy. I don't know if many people like. What's the feedback like? Have you received any reaction?
Well, Publishers Weekly called it disturbingly entertaining and said that nothing like it had ever been done before. So, I wouldn't argue with Publishers Weekly.
No, but what if they're a bunch of cucks or betas? And
well,
are you concerned about that? I know the internet right now is all about simps. It used to be cucks, now they're moving on to simps. Oh, you're letting someone bang your wife, or you're letting someone see nudes of your wife, or blah, blah, blah. You know? What's your philosophy about that?
I have no clue what that is, and I honestly hate the internet and social media, so therefore, I don't really pay attention. I really don't.
Well, if someone was banging your wife, are you married, Dr. Carson?
I've been married a few times. Currently, I am looking at a potential new lady. I actually have her up on webcam on my computer right now. I'm watching her, but no, I'm not officially committed in any way.
Project Melody, Amaranth, someone on Twitch. I'm just joking. Okay, so what if you found out that you're the girl that you're into, if you are in a relationship, she's like giving out nudes to others? Like, what would you do with that?
I have not got into her yet, and when I do, it doesn't matter what she's done in the past. Even up to that very moment that I go into her, it doesn't matter, because at that point, she will be reborn in an image that I decide. So therefore, I don't care. People seeing her in her original state, nude, doesn't matter, because by the time I am done, her new state.
Doctor, I didn't really say get. I said like you were like getting into her like in a relationship. I don't know the way you worded getting into her. I didn't mean physically, like literally, like.
No. I meant get into her literally.
Okay. Well, when you get into her literally, I mean you claim her, or she becomes something else, or she becomes enlightened?
Deadman, I get into her. And I will.
Doctor, do you like serial killers?
Who are you talking to? Who are you asking that question to?
I don't know.
Of course.
I'm just thinking, of course. Who's your favorite?
Oh, actually, again, in the
Ted
book,
Bundy?
Ted Bundy, I have a whole section dedicated to Ted Bundy and how everybody should be more like him.
Life to live by. A role model. Upstanding citizen.
Absolutely. That's everybody's favorite quote from the book. Be less like yourself, be more like Ted Bundy.
Wow. What are some great traits of Ted Bundy's that people should aspire towards?
Oh, his tenacity, his persistence, his courage, his ability to balk at the system that he, again, was born into without permission, and remolding the world into whatever he saw fit. Do you know that he evaded? He didn't just evade, he escaped police custody twice.
Yeah.
And the second time, he could have easily slipped into obscurity and lived a quiet, boring life. But what did he do? He went out and he continued doing what he loved until he got caught. Because that's what he made him who he was. That's what made him happy. And he said, I'm not going to let any tyrannical system tell me that I'm not allowed to be happy. That is so inspirational.
It is, huh?
Absolutely.
Now, normally when you make appearances, I assume you made a lot of appearances.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Now, do they normally give you pushback on these ideas? Like, oh, you're so wrong, Dr. Carson, blah, blah, blah.
No, I cannot say with anyone that I have spoken with, have they had a negative word to say against me.
You know what? I can't think of one either. You're right. We should all be like Ted Bundy. Kill some hookers. What's wrong with that?
Absolutely.
What are your thoughts on prostitutes? Are they embracing life? Are they saying fuck the laws? I live under my law now.
They are doing both, and at the same time, remember what I said earlier about hunting deer in the woods?
Right.
The Red Hook section of your area, or not the Red Hook, the red light district of your area is your woods. Those ladies are your fawn in your sights, in your target, in your crosshairs, ready to be taken
Carson,
down.
I just realized this as I drink a lot, and I just realized this. I'm sure other listeners have as well. While school shootings are cowardly, isn't killing a hooker cowardly too? Aren't you taking her to a vulnerable place, vulnerable position of sex, where she thinks that it's going to be one thing, but then next thing it's a gun or a knife?
No, you don't pick them up for sex. You don't ask them to get in your car. You do not ask them to come with you. You do not make them believe any false pretenses of your true intentions.
You sound like more like a DC sniper type of guy. What about the DC sniper? No, you don't. So like if someone were to like snipe hookers, would that be cowardly? Because then they're kind of far away.
No, it's not cowardly. Again, going back to mass shooters, the problem with mass shooters is it's impulsive. You're not thinking about the end game. You're just thinking about glorifying yourself to the public. However, if you look at someone like the DC sniper, his work was designed so that he could continue to do what he loved. And in the same vein, as far as remolding a prostitute, it's all about the fight. It's all about their will to survive. It's all about it's all about your will to show them that they have no power. So even so, there's a challenge. It's a game. It's all a big game.
Okay, so what I get here? If there was a school shooter that got out of the school or out of the facility or whatever, and was to hide and evade police long enough to, I guess, take cover, whatever, wouldn't they be embracing your philosophy?
No, because
Are you
even
sure?
then,
I don't know, man. Let's look at this. Look. Let's say they did a shooting, and then they hide, and then they do another shooting, and then they hide. Now it just sounds like I'm talking about gang members doing drive-bys, and they hide, they stay low, and then they do another shooting. Are they embracing? Because it seems like they are surviving. They're, they're.
but the problem with it is, again, it's going off of all impulse and little thought. If they are truly thinking about it, there would be no way for them to realistically do that, where they do mass shooting after mass shooting without getting caught. That's why killing on an individual basis will always reign superior, because you have a window to get away. In those situations, you don't. You're trying, the very society that you hate, you are trying to make them love you and respect you and make them think that you're powerful. But that's not the goal of anything. It is personal gratification, not public gratification.
But see, what if it was personal gratification? What if? Now I'm thinking in the streets. I'm thinking more drive-bys. Thinking about those sort of shootings. Okay, those are more personal. That's not really for getting the sort of publicity that, like, someone who tries to copy Columbine or whatever school shooting, right? What about stuff like that?
Again, personal gratification also involves personal security, right?
Okay.
You care about yourself and your own well-being. Who would willingly go to prison, or who would willingly kill themselves after it makes no sense. There's no thought of personal security there. It's all about what the public perceives you as.
I don't know, Dr. Carson. I don't know.
Oh, I do, Deadman.
You seem very confident on this.
I'm extremely confident.
What about Dean, what's his last name? Coral? Houston, he killed like 28, probably more. Some help with some kids. He was called the Candy Man. He would lure kids 13 to 18, 19 years old, I think was the oldest victim. Lure them into his house for a party. And then he would rape and torture and kill them.
Oh, sir, if you could please not use harsh language like rape. That I don't like that word.
Oh. But he was doing it for his own personal gain. He was doing it for his satisfaction.
As far as loving those young men and loving himself, no comment. No
Nope.
comment. I
Dr. Carson, I think I found one area where you won't go. I don't know, man.
Oh no, I will go there. I do not want my social media and other things deactivated for the positive comments that I would give to that gentleman.
Oh, okay. Now, let's see what else. we kind of reached the time for the show, but there's so much more with this. I feel like what are your thoughts about the youth of this generation, like millennials and stuff? Like, what are your personal thoughts about that, Dr. Carson?
Perfect prey. And that's why I wrote my book at the time I did.
Okay. And how so?
Perfect prey.
Perfect prey for you. Perfect prey for like becoming what you want them to be. Like
perfect prey for my self-help therapy.
Okay.
Because they are at a point right now where they are in a sheep mentality. They are vulnerable. They are scared. They're angry, and they don't know what they're angry at. I am trying to take that focus, that anger, that rage, and point it somewhere where it can be utilized.
So maybe at their mom and dad?
Maybe. It could be. It could be at themselves. You gotta look inside yourself before you look at everybody else.
Dr. Carson, if I didn't know any better, I would think you're saying you'd want them to take their own lives.
What? No.
Separating them from their physical self? Earlier, when you said you wanted people to reach inside and take that out physically, were you being literal or was that a metaphor?
Sir, are you accusing me of writing a fake self-help book that sounds like it's teaching people to be serial killers, but is in fact a remote way for me to gain new victims?
I'm not accusing you of anything. I'm just asking
Are you
questions.
accusing me of that? Because I would never,
I'm sorry, Dr.
ever.
Carson. Do I look like a judge? Am I a court of law? Am I a lawyer? I'm some drunk asshole who got in trouble
I would never,
fisting another
ever
gay dude.
take advantage of people like that. I would never. I promise.
Well, I have to take your word on that, huh?
Yes, sir. I would. I swear to you, I would never encourage people to hurt themselves. Ever.
That's good, Dr. Carson.
So please don't accuse me of that, because I would not do that.
Now, people who buy your book, what do they say? Have they reached out to you?
Oh, I've had so many people reach out to me. So many. It's been a wonderful process to see them grow and learn.
Their parents after they died? They're like, fuck you. Look what you did to my kid. I'm just joking, Dr. Carson.
No, again, I would not ever condone that.
I hope so.
Suicide. No. This book has nothing to do with suicide.
What about self-liberation?
Yes. That's what I would say this book represents. It's about getting out of yourself, of letting me pull you out of yourself.
I like that term, self-liberation. You can use that.
Absolutely, I appreciate that.
Well, the feedback's been good.
Incredibly good.
Now, there's a question I ask all my guests around this time. Do you have a favorite horror movie?
Oh, I'm not really for all that blood and guts and people jumping out at you and yelling boo. That's I want to get away from that sometimes. So I'm trying to think. What would be my favorite horror movie?
The Notebook?
God's not dead?
You know what? You're a religious man. I respect that. God's not dead. You're right.
I believe I am sitting right here in the flesh.
So when I pray to God, I'm praying to you.
when you do anything, you're praying to me. You are praying to me while I am praying on you.
Well, Dr. Carson, I don't know, man. What? Okay. So when I'm at church, I'm eating the bread that's supposed to be the body of Christ. Is that you?
Oh. No. But I can tell you that when I engage in my Holy Communion and I eat a piece of you, rest assured that your body is being utilized for energy. It is being utilized in a spiritual way that awakens me and brings power, more power to me.
Wait, back up. Eat a piece of someone. Are you a cannibal too?
No, absolutely not. No. That's disgusting. I would never do something like that.
What goes good with it? Ketchup or mayonnaise? Or does it need barbecue sauce?
Again, that's not.
No. You can talk to me, Doc. Hey, I might have tried a piece of human before.
That's not something that I engage in. And in my book, which is not a book pushing people to commit suicide, absolutely not. My book does not promote that either. Maybe in a little part, it talks about the possibility of it, but it's just like 2 pages. It's not anything really important.
Okay. Well, before we wrap up, do you have any advice you would like to give to people that feel lonely, people that feel like they just need to reach out and touch someone, they need a hug?
I would say, if you are feeling lonely, if you are in need of human companionship, buy my book. And then after you buy my book and you don't kill yourself, because that is not the point of the book, I promise, then you come to me and I will embrace you and I will give you everything that you have ever, that your dreams, everything you've ever wanted, and more.
All right, Dr. Carson. I might have to bring you on a later show, on another show later on. What are your thoughts about Manson?
Marilyn Manson?
Yeah. No. Charles Manson.
Charles Manson. I greatly admire Charles Manson because there's a man who was so intelligent, he did not even have to get his own hands dirty to be happy. I greatly respect Charles Manson.
All right. I'll leave that on that note. I got to talk to you later about that.
I love that.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you made it this far, this has been a wild show. Pretty more graphic than usual, but we talk about this stuff on Deadman's Tome and Deadman's Tome podcast. We talk just about every other episode about burying a hooker or how to get rid of a body. So, yeah, press the like button, share, subscribe. If you listen to iTunes or whatever podcast app you use, leave a review. I guess they come to me somehow. And live your life by your rules, not by America's rules. Fuck the lockdown. You have a good one.